Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today I'm going to tie a Hemingway floating pheasant tail. The hook that I have in the vise is a Maruto. This is the D04 size 14. This is actually a dry fly hook and it's standard length. So I want a floating nymph. I'm going to use the dry fly hook. I'm going to use a rusty brown 8/0 thread, and this is from Hemingway. We're going to start that thread behind the eye, and we're going to take it right back to the tail. Now I'm going to take a small piece of copper wire, and here it is. This is actually on a thread spool, but I took this from a motor, small motor of some kind. Can't remember what kind it was. And we're going to tie that in first. And we could actually let it roll to the opposite side. So we're going to counter wrap this, and we're going to be bringing it over the top towards me. I'm going to take a piece of pheasant tail, and I have, I don't know, 10. That's somewhere between 8 and 12. Sounds pretty good. I'm going to make that tail about 1/2 to 3/4 the length of the hook shank. I'm going to shorten that a little bit. There we go, get it nice and straight at the same time. Got to shorten my thread here. We're going to bring that up towards the eye. I'm going to wrap this, and we're going to bring that right up to the close to the eye. You can stop it where the abdomen would stop, but no need to. You can go ahead and tie that all in. It's not going to add any extra weight or any extra sinkability to it. I want to put it that way. That tied in there pretty good. We're going to remove that. Now I'm going to take the rib and counter wrapping that, and we're going to bring that right up. And this extra fine wire is not going to add any discernible amount of weight to it. It's okay if I'm going back here. I'll show you. I'm going to go back about that far, and I'm going to put it so I can see it easily. There we go. I had to put extra wraps on there so I can see it easily. Now I'm going to take the Hemingway Mayfly nymph rubber legs, and these are brown, and this is the small. I'm going to take one of them out, and I'm going to tie that in. You can see that has a tab on it, and we're going to tie that in with the tab towards the back. And we'll get that not right onto the eye, but pretty close to it, and bring that, just wrap that all down. And usually if it rolls a little bit, you usually can go ahead and twist it, turn it. Now here's a crucial part to keeping it floating. I have a piece of foam here, and I'm just going to tie that piece of foam in. I'm actually going to tie it in tight at the back here, And then I'm going to tie it in a little looser towards the front, or as I'm going to the front. Then I can tie it in tighter again, and loose again to come to the back. And we're going to trim that off. Almost threw that away, no good. Now I'm going to take Hemingway deer hair dubbing, and this is red fox color. And I'm going to want to get mostly the underfur of it, but yeah, actually this piece I pulled out has a lot of the actual hairs in there, so but you want mostly the underfur. But getting the hairs in there, if you do actually use the Hemingway deer hair dubbing, those hairs are also going to add flotation to it. And we're going to go ahead and wrap that thorax. We want that bottom. The bottom and the sides are the most important part there. I just want to check that, make sure my eye is open, and it's a little tight, but that'll do good. Now I'm going to take my Loctite super glue gel, and this is a very good, it distributes just as much as you want, which is a little small amount. Put that right on the legs and bud, and then fold that over. Now I can just take my, so I'm a little tight on that eye, so I'm going to take a half hitch tool and give it the half hitch, double half hitch, double half hitch. When people think about nymph fishing, they're always thinking about getting the nymph down to the bottom to where the fish are feeding. But you also have to think that that nymph has to go from the bottom to the top before he can hatch. So floating nymph struggling in the surface is going to be eaten. And here we have a Hemingway floating pheasant tail nymph. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Let them know I sent you. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. If you'd like to purchase any flies from me, go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And if you don't see it, just send me a message on there and we will figure it out. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.